video will discuss the effects of fatigue on the central nervous system with respect to exercise.
We take for granted the ability to walk, run, talk, etc., but don't consider what it is in our body that allows us to do this. Ready? 3, 1, 2, 1. The central nervous system, or CNS, controls most functions of the body and mind. It consists of two parts, the brain and the spinal cord. So what happens when these parts of the brain start to fatigue?
The central nervous system fatigue is a type of fatigue caused by the changes within the function of the central nervous system that cannot be explained by dysfunction of muscle. It is brought about by prolonged exercise and neurochemical changes in the brain associated with it.
Central nervous system fatigue plays an important role in endurance sports, and it also highlights the importance of proper nutrition in endurance athletes.
Food we put into our bodies is essentially fuel for our central nervous system. So how does nutrition affect fatigue on the CNS?
Eating too little can cause fatigue, but eating the wrong foods can also be a problem. Eating a balanced diet helps keep your blood sugar at a normal range and prevents that sluggish feeling when your blood sugar drops. To fix this, always eat breakfast and include protein and complex carbs in every meal. Avoid sugary foods and stay away from fatty meals, like a 10,000 calorie cheeseburger.
In order to control and understand central nervous system fatigue, you must be able to manipulate it. According to studies, numerous approaches have been taken to manipulate neurochemical levels and behavior.
The most important source of energy that we can manipulate before exercise is carbohydrate intake. It has been shown that consuming carbohydrates and electrolytes, which are minerals that affect the amount of water in our body, will result in an increase in endurance capacity, aka more energy for a longer period of time.
Let's move on to the neurochemical mechanisms of the central nervous system fatigue. In the brain, the hormone serotonin is a neurotransmitter and regulates arousal, behavior, sleep, and mood. During prolonged exercise, where central nervous system fatigue is present, serotonin levels in the brain are higher than normal physiological conditions. These higher levels can increase perception of effort and peripheral muscle fatigue.
Another hormone that has an effect on the central nervous system is dopamine. Dopamine is an excitatory neurotransmitter that regulates arousal, motivation, muscular coordination, and endurance performance. Dopamine levels have been found to be lower after prolonged exercise.
Work those muscles, dude.
A decrease in dopamine can decrease athletic performance as well as mental motivation.
Okay. One of the neurotransmitters in the central nervous system is acetylcholine, also known as our fight or flight neurotransmitter. Acetylcholine is required for the generation of the muscular force in the central nervous system. Acetylcholine modulates arousal and temperature regulation and also has been theorized to have effects on fatigue. Researchers believe it is due to the decrease in plasma choline levels, which are the nutrients in our blood that are optimal for development.
Let's talk about central nervous system fatigue and its role in the body. Central fatigue is a key component in preventing peripheral muscle injury. Our central nervous system has numerous receptors which detect signals and then send them to the brain to form electrical signals. An example of receptor is an osmoreceptor. These receptors are used to track dehydration, nutrition, and body temperature. With that information, as well as peripheral muscle fatigue information, the brain can reduce the quantity of motor commands sent from the central nervous system.
So, why is it so important?
It's important because it protects our body's homeostasis, which is the tendency of our body system to maintain internal stability and avoid disturbances of our normal condition. This allows our body to keep a proper physiological state and allows for full recovery.
So what happens to the body through higher perceived intensity exercises? Is the individual more likely to stop from exhaustion? First, let's talk about all the parts of the brain that are involved.
The primary somatosensory cortex is located on the lateral postcentral gyrus and the parietal lobe. The primary somatosensory cortex is the main area of our sense of touch. The effect the motor cortex has on this area is what causes an individual to be more likely to stop exercising due to exhaustion.
Woof. The motor cortex of the brain is one of the principal brain areas involved in motor function. This structure is located in the frontal lobe along a bump called the precentral gyrus. The role of the motor cortex is to generate neural impulses that control the execution of movement. The perceived effort from high-intensity exercises causes the motor cortex to have an effect on the primary somatosensory cortex.
Yeah, he's pretty tired.
Luckily, even when we are overtraining, the central nervous system Luckily, even when we are overtraining, central nervous system fatigue alerts our bodies that when we are overtraining, the central nervous Luckily, even when we are overtraining, the central nervous system fatigue alerts our bodies that physiological conditions such as decreased Luckily, when it
All right. Luckily, even when we are overtraining, central nervous system fatigue alerts our body that physiological conditions, such as decrease in oxygen uptake or muscle fatigue, are not optimal. This is a sign that we need to either rest or refuel our brain with proper nutrients.
Muscular overtraining occurs when the muscular system is not given sufficient downtime to repair broken down tissues. For example, if you were to work on your quads intensely on Monday and then go back to the gym on Tuesday to work them, you could run the risk of overtraining.
Working the same muscle groups in a row can negatively impact your muscular development, but it normally impacts one muscle group specifically. Your central nervous system is responsible for generating muscular contractions in all types of training. So, when you stack workout upon workout, it can eventually tire you out.
Yep. As a result of this general fatigue, you will be weaker and slower in all your movements. You may even find that your force generation capacity is less than normal, or that you become unexpectedly uncoordinated at times.
Calm down. Calm down.
If you work out at a gym, the main culprit is a program that has too much volume, too much intensity, and too little rest. Remember, even if you've planned your program properly to allow for enough rest between each session for a given muscle, your central nervous system is still being stimulated.
A good workout program has adequate downtime sessions, working at a particular muscle group, but also downtime between workout session periods.
The amount of time you need is directly proportional to the intensity and volume of the program. The more work you're doing, the more rest you will need between sessions. Good programming includes periods of lower intensity and exercise variation.
We need sleep. Sleep is the body's prime tool for repair. So make sure that you're getting at least 8 hours every night. If you don't, you won't recover as quickly from each workout session, and then the next one will hit you even harder.
Meditation has also been shown to overcome central nervous system fatigue. By meditating, or even just deep breathing, can significantly improve our system. All you need is a few minutes of an open mind.
If your immune system is weakened, it's much more likely that you will be unable to cope with training demands. Your central nervous system is taxed by all types of stress, which is one reason why Gannon students get sick right before exams. Don't wait to feel tired and be productive.
So another way to prevent CNS fatigue is to supplement with fish oil and glutamate. According to Jason Ferrugia, a writer for SportsCenter and ESPN, there's 7 key ways that you can help stop central nervous fatigue. Number 1, tone it down a bit in the gym. Don't be that guy who's banging his head off the wall and screaming to get himself pumped up for a lift. All that's going to do is tire you out, and honestly, it makes central nervous fatigue that much worse. Go.
Tone it down, man.
Number 2, you don't need to go 90% or above every time you go to the gym. There's a time and a place for 1 rep maxing and going as hard as you can, but it's good to mix it up, not go quite as long or quite as hard every time, because then you'll get that central nervous system fatigue.
Drilled it.
Oh, that was scary.
Number 3, always stay away from going to failure every single time. You want to have clean, crisp reps every set. You don't always want to go long, deep, and break form, or else you get central fatigue.
Number 4, always avoid doing too many plyometrics exercises when you're with your routine. These things are very taxing on the joints and should only be done maybe 2 to 3 times a week, or else you're going to have central nervous system fatigue.
Number 5, sometimes incorporate straps into your lifting routine. Although lifting without straps does help build a lot of grip strength and strength throughout the forearms, incorporating straps can help reduce fatigue in long workouts, and honestly they are good to incorporate to help reduce central nervous fatigue on a long-term basis. Number 6, occasionally switch up the grip you're using when you're working out. Using a thin handle on weights requires a lot of energy and can quickly burn out the central nervous system. To eliminate this, use bars that have a larger diameter because they're more representative towards real life, and it can help keep the central nervous system guessing.
Number 7, get more sleep.
Why is that, Matt?
Because when you get more sleep, it gives the central nervous system a chance to rest and do a lot better.
It's important because it protects our body's homeostasis, which is the tendency of our body system to maintain the internal stability of...
He's probably not even that close.
Am I going?
I normally go like pretty close. I was gonna say I normally go like.
You do get extremely
There we
close
go.
to me.
Yeah.
Am I on right now?
Do not record me right now. We need sleep. Oh, you missed. Are you still recording?
Yep.
All right.
We're
oh my
still
God.
on.
Walk up next to him, go, and then just take off that ball.
Do your thing, Austin.
Do it.
Dude, it's ridiculous.
Do your thing. I want to see it.
Dude, I want to see what it looks like when you do
I don't remember what I was doing.
Yeah, do that, walk up like that, and then rip them off and run.
I can't rip them off.
Nobody laugh. It's gonna be hard.
Number 1, tone it down a bit in the gym. Don't be that guy who's banging his head off the wall and screaming to get himself pumped up for a lift. All that's going to do is tire you out, and honestly, it makes central nervous fatigue that oh, God damn. God.
How do you... Alright. Oh, shut it off. Number 3, always stay clear of going to failure.
Steer clear of always going.
Steer. Alright. I start with the ball.
Just keep going. Go. You can edit it.
No. Always stay clear from going to failure.
3, man.
Number 6, always not always. Alright. Now do it again. Number 6. Number 6, you want to occasionally incorporate different grip sizes, larger and thick diameter. You want to 6.
Number 6.
Number 6. Number 6, you always want to incorporate different diameters, bars, thicker discs, smaller discs on occasion. They're always if you always go too girthy, it doesn't work. You always get tired after a while.
Number 6, occasionally switch up the grip of your weights when you're working out. Using a thin grip.
It's tough, you can't.
Yeah, no. Like, oh.
Squeeze me, man. You're squeezing me. Number 7, get more sleep.
I'll record it.
Number 7, get more sleep. Hey, Lapata, go out for a pass, man. Hey, Lapata, go out for a pass, man. I missed him. Hey, Lapata, go out for a pass, man.